Hey YouTube, it's Jonathan. I'm here with a tutorial today on the lovely Kylie.
Hello.
She is wearing the look that Angelina Jolie is wearing in the trailer for her new movie, Maleficent. Hope you enjoy. To prep the skin, I'm using a bit of the Miracle Blur from L'Oreal, and I'm just using this with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush just in the T-zone to kind of stop some shine coming through. Next, I'm taking the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the Anti-Aging formula, and just patting this on her eyelids as always. This one is great because it stops creasing and it's going to help the eyeshadow stick a little bit longer, as well as having a little bit of skincare benefits in there. For foundation today, I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte in True Ivory number 103, and I'm just taking this on the back of my hand and dotting it all over her face. And then I'm going to use the same Real Techniques Expert Face Brush that I used earlier to buff that all into the skin. This foundation gives such a nice velvety matte texture, and I thought it was perfect for this look. For concealer, I'm taking a little bit of my Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealer and just dotting this in the places where I want it. I'm kind of using this to highlight a little bit, so under the eyes, down the nose, the forehead, and the chin, and just blending it in with the Real Techniques Domed Shadow Brush. To set the skin in place, I'm using the Spun Loose Face Powder in Translucent, and I'm just patting this all over the skin to make sure everything is nice and set and not going anywhere. To contour, I'm actually going to use a couple of the matte eyeshadows from the NYX Cheek to Cheek palette. I'm just using the cooler tone shadows to the left of the palette and taking this under the cheekbone, having her suck in as you normally do when you are contouring. And then once I get that kind of sharp line that I want, I'm going to start bringing it down and towards the jaw. The contour for this look is a bit more dramatic than I normally like to go, because I'm not a huge fan of contouring myself, but for Maleficent it's definitely necessary because in the movie Angelina Jolie is wearing prosthetic cheekbones, and yeah, this is kind of a way to get around that without actually applying prosthetics to your face. I'm also contouring the nose for this look, just taking the excess product on the same brush and sweeping it down the sides of the nose and just a little bit on the tip to make it slightly pointier, and then taking a little bit under the lip too to make the pout fuller. Using that smaller brush, I'm also going to sharpen the edge of the line of the top of the contour to make it look a little bit more sharp. To highlight the skin, I'm going to use the Stila Shimmering Skin Powder in Kitten, just on my Real Techniques stippling brush, running that on the tops of the cheekbones, down the nose, the top of the lip, and a little bit on the chin, just to bring those areas out a little bit more. To start on her eyes, I'm using the Naturally Pretty palette from ItCometics, and I'm just using the lightest shade on the top left corner called Sheer Joy, just putting that in the inner corner and under the brow, but I'm actually going to move on to brows really quickly before I move on to the rest of her eye makeup. For the eyebrows, I'm just using a couple of the matte shades from the NYX Cheek to Cheek palette and flicking that through the brows, keeping them rather natural in shape, and then using a cotton bud dipped in a little bit of makeup remover just to sharpen the edge on the top to make it nice and pointed like Angelina Jolie's are in the movie. Back to eyes, I'm just taking the shade All Heart from the Naturally Pretty palette and starting to build that up on the lower part of the lid, just kind of blending it up towards the crease. This is not a very cut crease kind of look, although I am going to add a little bit of shading into the crease. This look is more about the highlight that is going to go on the brow bone in just a minute. To lightly shape the outer corner and crease, I'm using a bit of Java mixed with Mocha from the Naturally Pretty palette and just kind of blending that in with the same brush, and then using a clean crease brush to blend that out and kind of make it a little bit more of a gradient and a little bit more natural. Taking that same blending brush and the same eyeshadow, I'm just lightly blending underneath the eye to add a little bit of subtle definition because I'm going to be adding a black line there later, but I kind of want this to be there to smoke it out a bit. This yellow eyeshadow from Ulta is really the important part of the eyeshadow look. I'm adding this right under the arch of the eyebrow and kind of blending it into the other shades. When you look closely at the movie trailer, you can definitely see this, and this is what I find to be missing from most of the tutorials on this look that I've seen so far. This little bit of color really sets this look apart from any other kind of neutral smoky eye, and kind of adds a little bit of fun and a little bit of, you know, that villain quality that Maleficent has. To line the eyes, I am using my Holy Grail Ulta Black Gel Eyeliner and just kind of winging it out slightly, and then, of course, as always, using a black eyeshadow to smoke that wing out. You know I love to do this. I'm using the NYX Primal Colors Hot Black to do that, just on my favorite angled brush, just kind of patting it on and then blending it out into the other shadows. Using what's left over on my angled brush, I'm just adding that as close to the lash line as possible underneath to add to the smokiness under there, and then taking the same black eyeliner I used earlier into the waterline and on the tight line. Off camera, we applied mascara and false lashes, and I'm just using the tip of my angled brush to press the lashes against the lash line to make sure they're really, really close. And now onto lips. This is the Prestige brand waterproof lip liner in red. I'm using this to shape her lips, and since it's waterproof, it's going to add a nice longevity to the lipstick that I'm going to put on next, which has a creamy texture and doesn't last as long on its own. The lipstick and lip gloss that I'm using are both from NYX. The lipstick is called Chic Red, and the lip gloss is called Plush Red. And I am just using this over top of the lip liner just to, you know, amp up the color. Adding the red gloss adds a nice shine that you can definitely see on Angelina's lips in the movie trailer. And here is the final look. Make sure you stay tuned to my channel because I also have a tutorial for the look Elle Fanning is wearing as Aurora in the movie coming up soon. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel, leave me a comment, and like my video. Also check out my Instagram and Twitter, both are at JohnJohnTalks, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pop rocks with poise! How? Pour crystals into your mouth, then swish them around. Savor the tingle and minty freshness. I'm gonna use these right now. One moment.